Catherine, Princess of Wales, begged Charles to intervene and stop Harry and Meghan. Our family is in imminent peril. As Harry and Meghan's campaign against the palace continues, the Wales family is becoming increasingly concerned. Hello, and welcome to the UK Royal News Trend. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex's TV confessional, broadcast around the world via Netflix, has put the royal family under more scrutiny than ever before. Harry and Meghan's allegations of racism against their family are not for the first time members of the House of Windsor have gone rogue in the media. But it is the first time they have done so in the age of the internet, with armies of faceless online trolls reveling in the chaos they've caused. Security experts have claimed there are credible fears for the safety of the monarch and the Wales family, but as of press time, King Charles had not responded to the couple's claims that Meghan was made a media scapegoat by the rest of the family. According to Di Davis, a former head of royal protection, because the Sussexes' narrative has been attached to race to the extent it has, you could have those at the extreme end having a go at the royals. His comments to The Telegraph can be summarised as follows. A few more people who might not otherwise do so could be influenced by this. Believe it or not, there is a vocal minority who believe Meghan can fly. I've always maintained that the danger posed by obsessive people is higher than that posed by terrorists. Catherine is particularly shaken by Di's words. A source says, while it wasn't their intention, Meghan and Harry have put a target on their families' backs, and Kate's stressed out. The source goes on to say that Kate is extremely worried about the safety of her 3 young children. The king has reportedly been personally pleaded with by the princess to end the Sussexes' constant complaining in the media, as reported by Women's Day. Harry once put out a statement saying that the intrusion into Meghan's life was not a game. Kate fails to see how what she's doing to her family is any different, if not worse, the source says. Kate is at the point where Charles needs to issue a statement of his own to halt them. While she understands that Harry and Meghan have a grudge to bear, she hopes that the prospect of endangering their niece and nephews will convince them to stop their destructive behaviour. The coronation of King Charles III is expected to be the most important royal event of the year, but Meghan and Harry's recent behaviour may cause them to be excluded. Reports indicate that Charles is on the fence about whether to invite them because Harry is his family or not because of the damage they've done. Despite the fact that William is on the side of never letting them near a royal event again, the king is, according to insiders, a softie at heart. Sources close to the Sussexes say that because Charles's coronation is on May the 6th, his grandson Archie's 4th birthday, they are unlikely to attend anyway, based purely on the fact that they found it rude he would schedule the event on his grandson's special day. That Netflix documentary was, without a doubt, biased and poorly made. The show's protagonist and her ever-present sidekick were prominently featured. Instead of focusing on their romance, the film centred on the lead actress. They continued to broach the subject of their problems. Rather than accepting their dismissal of going home, they kept fighting against their former employers and the media. They were fighters for freedom and democracy. Even Harry's mother fought against them. She despised her husband and sought to replace him with her own son as monarch. For Harry, it was always him, not William. In this way, his wife actively reminded him of his mum. His mother's voice came to mind when his wife started talking. He sensed her presence and knew she was with him. In his mind, there were other words. He was tying up loose ends from his mother's life. She must have given him the thumbs up, right? That was the fallacy he was operating under. His earthly mother was his wife, and with her by his side, he could do anything. He thought she wanted him to succeed to the throne. It was clear that he would not stop working until he'd achieved his objective. She told her son to alter people's opinions of the town's citizens about her ex-husband. Harry intended to physically challenge his father. He was convinced that she wanted to hurt his brother, who had once been her favourite. He didn't feel sorry for either of them. The Netflix show was rife with characters' inflated senses of reality. They bragged that they were more impressive than Harry's family. The sham bow was an expression of their closeness as a family, that their respect for the monarchy. They treated Harry and his family with sarcasm, insensitivity and disdain. Since Harry never stood up for his family, especially his grandmother, he had the same fate as she. He watched as his wife humiliated him and his kids on national television. He had also done a lot of harm. Their narcissism, however, illuminated the nature of mental illness. Some examples were provided. They aimed for spotlight and received it. When they asked for money, they were given it. That's how much focus they managed to attract. They assured us they wouldn't, and they never will fade into obscurity. There was a lie told by them. To be more precise, it shed light on their intentions. Rachel made accusations, and Henry was put in the position of proving her right through personal anecdotes that reflect his 12-year-old self-perception of his mother's deep connection to and influence over the media. The entire production was designed to boost Rachel's brand and marketability. She went from being a ugly duckling who ate $5 salads at Sizzler as a child to a beautiful swan who's being bullied and mocked. She even performed a dying swan action by demonstrating an exaggerated bow. Meanwhile, Ms. Julia San, a royal expert, has given us insight into Harry's mind. Based on what she has told us, I believe that Harry suffers from severe regret that he did not have the same amount of contact with his mother after his parents divorced. By being preoccupied at the time, he passed up what would have been his final opportunity to communicate with his mother. His ire is now directed at everyone else except himself. He blames the media for his mother's negligence in not wearing a seatbelt, and thus harbours a deep resentment toward them. He blames his father for the fact that he and his mother had less contact after their divorce, but he refuses to admit that his mother shared responsibility for the breakup. The fact that he knew all of his mother's secrets has led him to believe that his brother is the favourite child. Ms. Julia continued, "He holds the media responsible for what they did, and as a result, he considers them to be a danger to himself and to anyone he cares about. The press poses a danger if they get too close to him. He feels compelled to say or do anything to protect his wife and children from the press pack that may be following them. The reason why he thinks his wife is so much like his late mother is because she makes him the focus of her attention and her top priority. This gives him a sense of significance and worth that he may have lacked in his relationship with his mother, whom he saw as a secondary to his brother. He finally found a partner who will make him her top priority and care deeply about his well-being. His entire being is devoted to the pursuit of his ideal life, which he believes to exist independently of the royal family. His importance was not given sufficient weight. His mother had passed away, and while everyone else had moved on, he had not. Despite the fact that life is about letting go of the past and making room for new experiences, he may see doing so as dishonouring her memory. The expert concluded, "These are just my thoughts, and I could be totally incorrect," that he does view himself as sleeping with his mother through his relationship with his wife, and that this triggers all of his unhealthy perspectives of his father, brother, and the rest of his family. It is my firm belief that he requires additional professional assistance in order to overcome his apprehensions and misdirected resentment. He alone can actively seek assistance. Perhaps the only way he can support his family is to live like this, constantly complaining and convinced that he has every right to point the finger and lay blame on them. In that case, no amount of apologies would be sufficient, as it would be the end of his financial security if he was seen to accept one. He helps his wife keep the story alive even though he knows it's not true. Likewise, how about you? Are you in agreement with me? We discuss Harry and Meghan, so leave your thoughts in the comments section. If you find our video to be helpful, please hit that like button and spread word to your friends who would also enjoy it as well. If you'd like to stay up to date on all things Kate Middleton and royal, be sure to subscribe to our UK Royal News Trend. Please enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.